15 tips to use video in your business. And so we're really excited to get started. Ren, as you may know, is a real estate agent and has been in the business for many years. How many years were you in the real estate business?
I ran that team for 16 years. 16
years. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. 16 years of full-time.
Full-time, knocking them down. Yeah, usually 15, 18 listings a month.
Okay.
Taking that many, yeah.
15 or 18 listings a month, and you had a small team. What was the team makeup of your team back in the day?
They didn't wear makeup.
No.
we had 2 buyer agents.
Yep.
Because I focused on getting the listings, and then we had to obviously take care of the buyers. So everything was driven by the listings. And then when we sold the listings, we had homeless people. And so when you have homeless people, you've got to handle it. So
absolutely.
So
all right,
let's dive in, see what we get done. We've got what I'm going to build a little bit of groundwork first, because there are some great dialogues in here. Fantastic dialogues that will get you several extra listings a month. The thing is, if you use them just cold without setting it up, the other pieces, then they won't be as effective. So we're going to spend a little bit of time setting this up. Then when you use the dialogues, it'll work. So we're going to cover 3 areas. First, mindset. It's a big piece. If you don't have the right mindset, if you're not approaching this right, if the approach is not right, it's not going to work. Systems. If you're not systematic, if you don't have the structure, I can give you the best dialogues in the world. It's not going to work. The whole idea is where you can go out and take an extra 3 listings a month, 36 additional listings a year. What does that make them? An extra $150,000 a year, depending on their market, something like that. Nothing to sneeze at.
$150,000 is a pretty good amount of money.
Yeah, as an extra item.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's very realistic. Very realistic. So mindset's important. One of the things about mindset is, for most of us as humans, you know, on Monday, we don't feel like doing it. Tuesday, I'll make some calls. Wednesday, I'm busy. Thursday, I'm really hitting it. And then Friday, well, it's Friday. So there's lack of consistency. So the mindset's real important. We have to have mindset and routines to pull us on the days we don't feel like lead generating, because it's a numbers game. If you, and let's put it in the simplest terms, there's 52 weeks a year.
Right.
How many weeks vacation are you going to take?
At least a month, right?
You're going to take at least a month? Okay. Well, let's say you took 7 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That leaves 45 weeks to work. Nobody's going to argue with that, right? So what if from every waking moment, 5 days a week, I know some of you work 7, 5 days a week, all you think about is taking 2 listings that week, just 2. Now we're talking about 45 times 2.
90. 90
listings taken a year, okay? Which, how many would you sell?
Let's hope like a good 70 of those.
Good 70, all right. Times, what's your commission?
Let's say it's an average of $7,000 a deal.
Okay, so there's $500,000 right there. But then, what's more? But wait, there's more. You take 70 listings sold, there's several homeless people as a result of that.
Right.
How many of those
they gotta
are homeless?
Go somewhere.
How many of those are homeless in an immediate need to buy something?
Half.
Okay. Now you're at 105 closed. So there you're at 700,000. It's a great little living. I'll tell you, not bad at all. So
just breaking it down into the most essential thing that you do every day.
Yeah. What's it going to take to take a listing every day? And maybe you're only successful 2 days a week. Not so bad. Not so bad. So the mindset's important. The routines around it. Having the routines, because there are going to be a lot of days you don't feel like it, or you'll like, I'm too busy working on my files. Happens to the best of us. We all feel busy. There's the, what do they call that? Creative avoidance behavior. I need to get a cup of coffee. Oh, I got to do this. So it's important to have a routine around it. And the most important thing, write this down. You know, we've got a lot of people on this call, but some of them don't have anything to write with. So write this down. Dedicated lead generation area. Dedicated. You can't have your pending activity set up there. pending activities out of there, your existing listings, your pendings, a dedicated lead generation area that's all about lead generation.
And maybe you have your scripts up there that you're ready with.
Yeah.
You've got your
upbeat music going.
Your headset on. You've got maybe your mints or your gum that you like to do. Maybe you've got your music.
A little refrigerator. I used to tour those. More than one person had a small trampoline.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Put a little bounce in their day. You lead generate for an hour and a half, and you go over and bounce a minute. And it works. So because so much money is made in that area, make it the best it can be. When you walk in, go, oh, lead generation. As excited as you can get about it. So the structure and the systems, and then it's the people. The environment is the people. You have to have other people doing what you're doing. Stop hanging around with your local crowd. Stop it. Talk to people across the country that are doing what you're doing, that are making 500, 800, 1.2 million. They're making that as a living. They have that mindset.
Yeah, you know what is crazy to me? So many times I see agents post questions, and they're asking for advice from other agents. And it's shocking to me how many times agents take advice from other agents that aren't top producers.
I know. And if it's a top producer in your market, it's a little harder to get them to share. So if you're sharing with top producers in other markets, they will open wide and share information. So the systems, that piece is very, very important. Last point before we go into some of the dialogues. Maybe not the last point. Where performance is measured, performance is gained. If you're measuring your process.
Well, you focus on expands.
I know a lot of teams that do a couple $1 million in commission, not volume, commission, 2 million, 3 million, and they track one number, just one. They have a thing, it'll say May, listings taken goal, and it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, goal, 14 listings, May, because everything's driven off the listings taken, everything. If you're only going to track one number, that's the number to track.
Absolutely.
So track your listings taken. Every day when you walk in, go, oh, I got to take X number of listings. And it's written down. As soon as you get one, not when you put it in the MLS, when you get the signature, when they sign the contract, put it up there, post it. Yes, I just need one more for this week. Okay, great. I need 2 for next week. And then you're going to get there fast.
And that just that posting that on the wall reminds you every day what you still need to get done. And it also is transparency for your team so that they know, hey, Ren, get back in there on the phone. We don't have our numbers yet.
Right, which brings me to accountability. So another measure is accountability, having people doing what you're doing that check in with you. You role play with them, get on the phone early, get started, and you say, what's your goal today? I'm going to set 1 appointment. Well, I'm going to set 2. Great. And you talk to them again somewhere around noon. How'd it go? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about when do we make calls? When do we make contacts? When do we reach out and we look for a business? So let's look at the rules. The general rule is all morning look for business. In the middle of the day, work on your business. And in the afternoon, meet with people. Morning, midday, work on the business. Don't squeeze the middle. Don't call and say, well, set an appointment for 1 p.m. because then you're not going to get any administrative work done. And then the next day you're backed up. So all morning, look for business. Middle of the day, get your administrative work done. And then in the afternoon, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, meet with them, get a contract signed. That way, nothing worse than setting a listing appointment for 10:30 or 11 the next day, and then all of a sudden you're now meeting with people when you should be looking for more people. So set it up morning, midday, afternoon. It's real important to have that structure, and that will help too in this process. I've got to share this idea. I came up with this perfect recipe. If someone came in to our business and they said, I want to make, let's say they say, I want to make $800,000 a year, and I'm going to give myself 2 years to get there. This recipe will get you there, okay? This is what you do. All right, you ready? This
Yep.
is what you do. It's a once a month commitment. That's easy enough. Once a month. Okay. It'll probably cost you $800 a month. So you're going to have to drink coffee at home and not at Starbucks to make this happen. So you get, what you do is you identify, because you're hanging around with people across the country now. You're going and seeing panels where people talk about lead generation, and you're meeting some of the great people. And what you do is once a month, you get on an airplane and you fly to their market. Get there the afternoon before, have dinner with them, then that early morning, go to their office and shadow them and take a lot of notes. They're making $1.5 million, $2 million, and that's what you
got to be able to learn something from that.
Yeah, you will. And you fill a yellow pad full of notes or a laptop full of notes, and you get all that information. You go to lunch with them, and you get on an airplane and fly back. You do that every 4 weeks.
Okay.
12 times a year. It's going to cost you $800 a month. Within 2 years, you're at $800,000 a year in income. You'll reach your goal. You will, because of the copycat principle. So we want to follow the copycat principle. If people are making a lot of money, just do what they do.
Yeah.
Shadow them. And if they're in another market, they will share with you. If they're in your market, a little tougher. It's a little tougher.
Yeah, it's nice to leave your market because they're more transparent about their ideas and their
yes.
And you learn from a different environment, and you get to see their team set up and how their space is organized. And
that's it. And you're saying, I don't know anybody outside of my market. Set the intention first. Start paying attention. Join groups. Get involved. Hear about people. Reach out to them. And you got to start somewhere.
There's so many real estate groups online that you can identify people, or start looking on YouTube to see who's doing some video that you're engaging with, or anything like that, just to see who's out there in the market and drawing attention to themselves. And if that's what you want, you follow that.
I've persuaded a lot of people to do this. Now, every once in a while they'll go, well, I tried to reach so-and-so and I didn't hear back. Okay. What did you do? Well, I sent them an email, or I left them a voicemail. One. Do you think they didn't want to talk to you, or maybe they were busy, or they didn't even know they got the message? So call them 2, 3, 4 times. They'll be okay, because here's the fun thing. If somebody's very successful in their business and somebody reaches out, they actually like it. They like to share. What we'll find is 98% of them love to share. So test that out. You'll be really pleased at the result you get from that. And at the end of a year, you'll have 12 friends that are all making $1 million, $2 million, and they're your friends. And then pretty soon you rise up to that level too.
Yep.
So let's go into some dialogues. What do you say? Now, this is going to conflict with some people because everybody has a different philosophy on how.
First of all, I hope everybody's taking notes, because there's some good stuff coming.
Yeah.
And of course, we're going to be recording this, so you'll get to watch it later again. But there's nothing like, getting these notes down and being able to do it live and be able to apply it immediately to your business.
Yes. Write it down or change the channel, because there's no entertainment value here, folks. Okay. So we've got some dialogue. This is going to conflict with some people because everybody has a different idea on how you should approach for sale by owners, expireds, things like that. Everybody's got a different strategy. Okay. So, like, for example, for sale by owners, I've had people say, I would never call for sale by owner until they've been out there for 3 weeks. Okay?
Right.
I called them on day 1, 2, and 3. Number 1, they remembered me. I was one of the first people calling. They remembered me. And number 2, I got the information I wanted right away. So what
You mean information, meaning motivation, or?
Well, there are only 2 things I wanted to know.
Okay.
What I find is interesting
What are the 2 things?
There are people who don't want to know that. Like, how can you possibly work with a for sale owner and expired unless you know where they're moving to and how soon they need to be there? Now, if it's a for sale by owner and they have to move, quickly, rather quickly, then it's a keeper. So you'll call 6 for sale by owners. Where are you folks moving to? Well, we're moving to Orlando. Great, that's exciting. How soon do you have to be in Orlando? Well, we're hoping this year, but next year's fine, or the year after. It's a long-term retirement plan. Great. Good luck. Trash, okay? They didn't have to move quickly.
The motivation wasn't there.
Well, what will happen as a for sale by owner, another 82 agents will talk to them over a long period of time because they're not in a hurry. They're going to want a lot of services. They're going to experiment around it in the stratosphere with their price. We know statistically, if they don't have to move and they don't have to move quickly, that it's difficult to achieve a sale.
Right.
If they have to move and they have to move quickly, they will be listing with a professional quickly and they will be sold quickly. So you call the next one, okay, and they don't have to move, or whatever it may be. We don't have to move. Great, good luck. So when they have to move and they have to move quickly, you're saving 1 out of 6. So you call a whole bunch of them, and you have this little group of 4 or 5 or 6 for sale by owners. And we know one thing: they will be listed with somebody very, very quickly, or they'll be sold very, very quickly. So those are your hot ones. And many times,
so you got to dig through them.
Well, that's why I found on day one. I called somebody on day one. Yeah, we're moving to Amsterdam. My husband's already over there. You could tell there was a little stress.
Bingo.
Within 4 days, I had it listed. Within 4 days, while all the other agents were aging it. It's not cheese. It doesn't need to be aged. Just call them, list it, and get it done. If the motivation's high enough, they're going to list it. So
yeah, and the first person who gets them to understand that they need a professional and that professional is you, is the one that's going to get the listing contract signed.
Exactly.
So if you're not even calling for 15 days or 30 days, it ain't going to be you.
It's gold, and then the fast ones are moving fast. So rules with for sale by owners, write this down. Never make a for sale by owner wrong. Nothing worse, and it happens. Real estate agents call and go, you're making a big mistake here. Try it on your own. Don't make them wrong.
Don't start a conversation in an argument.
Right. So here's a script. Here's a dialogue you can say. Just write this one down, because it'll take that away off the table. And this is carefully worded. I respect the fact that you want to try to sell it on your own. I respect the fact that you want to try to sell it on your own.
Thank you.
Notice the try word. Try. I respect it. You do? Okay, now we can have a conversation.
Right. Because you've heard me.
Yeah.
And you're repeating it and letting me know.
We know there's a little wall here. And we can work on that wall later. We can have a little conversation over the wall.
Right.
And then you tell me, well, why do you want to try to sell it on your own? And she'll say, we want to save the commission. And I'll go, well, who could blame you?
Exactly. Okay. Well, thank you for recognizing that I have some valid points.
Yeah. So you're just trying to save the other 2.5%, 3%. Tiny amounts.
Yeah.
Now we can work with that, because she's not trying to save a whole lot. She's offering out commission to every realtor that calls. And one thing we know is that almost every for sale owner, when they sell, there's at least one real estate agent involved anyway.
Yep.
So she's not trying to save much money. Now we can get somewhere. Okay. All right. Now, for sale owners often say, what do they often say? They'll say, bring me a buyer and we'll pay you 2%.
Yeah.
Now, for most real estate agents, that gets under their skin.
It's under my skin.
Right. It's under their skin. But so here's the thing. While all the other realtors that are talking to that for sale owner are getting irritated, you play it the other way. Just say, awesome. I like how you think. Okay. They'll be like, you do. Okay. So now you have you're in rapport with them. Okay. If they meet your criteria, 1 out of 6. They have to move and they have to move quickly. Just say, we sell so many homes here in Willow Glen. It may be somebody on our team bringing you an offer. I need to see what you have.
Yeah.
And you can start working your way into you do? Oh, I see. And you can work your way into getting an appointment and taking the listing. Because if they have to move and they have to move quickly, what you offer is what they need. Here's the thing. Too many agents are talking to the other 5 out of 6. They don't have to move and they don't have to move quickly. So
they're spinning their wheels.
Yeah, they're wasting a lot of time in there, and they start, I hate those for sale owners.
Well, because they're spinning their wheels with the people that aren't motivated.
Right. Well, you're right. And they're not doing their research. They don't know. Do they have to move? Where are they moving to? Why do they need to be there? What's important about moving there? How soon do they have to be there? If you don't know that,
You can't help them meet their need.
Yeah, what you're saying means nothing to them because they only need you if you can get the job done like this. Create some safety around it, okay? So another thought on when you ask them where they're moving to, I always would get ready. Like, before I ask that question, I'd bend my knees a little bit, and then I would ask the question, and whatever they said, I would be excited because whatever reason is, then their ego pops up and wants to tell you more. They go, where are you moving? We're moving to Vancouver. And I go, Vancouver, that's exciting. And they go, yeah, let me tell you. Let me tell you more about Vancouver. Let me tell you about me. Let me tell you about our house. So then the ego is talking. Now you're going to get somewhere. Because if you're just talking to them, you're not going to get very far. If you're talking to their ego, they're going to tell you everything. And they're going to think you're a great person because their ego is talking.
You know, another tip I've discovered is when you ask them why they're moving, sometimes it's we're having a baby or I got a job.
Yeah.
And that's the best one that I like to say is, oh my gosh, congratulations.
Yes.
That's exciting.
I know.
You're having a baby,
That's right.
Then they talk about it and then you're in rapport.
You're in rapport. Yeah, they
Making
realize
real
that
connections.
Right, because if you don't ask them, they think, well, you don't care where we're moving.
Right, it's a business deal or a transactional,
Yeah. How can you help them if you don't know what they're trying to accomplish? I mean, honestly, if you don't know what they're trying to accomplish, how can you help them?
Then you're showing up and throwing up instead of asking and meeting their need.
Right, exactly.
And they're sitting there on the other end of the phone saying, how does this guy know he can sell my house? He doesn't even know what I need.
Yeah. Doesn't know about the baby, doesn't know about Vancouver, doesn't know any of that.
Right.
Assuming rapport. Now, this is a tonality thing, assuming rapport. So when we're doing these dialogues, we're going to be giving you a lot of great dialogues here in a few minutes.
Take your notes.
You have to be relaxed and conversational. So it's assuming rapport. There's some people, when they call, they're really stiff and it's almost like they're reading and they're communicating and the other person says something, they go, okay, and it's stiff. If you're relaxed and conversational, and you talk to them like you've known them for a long time, you get in rapport so much faster. They loosen up.
How many phone calls, or how many hours, or how many weeks does it take for you to get natural at this?
Well, it's an intention.
Right.
If your intention is to try to get really relaxed in the call, just say, Amy, you're going to Vancouver. You've got the baby coming. You're going to that tone. It's a tone. It's a relaxing tone. Then they fall into
these agents. How long?
Intention.
Just like
if you're not thinking about it, it'll take you forever. You have to think about these things.
You have to make an effort.
You have to have role play partners.
To change your voice, to do these things.
Yeah, you have to study it. You have to study this. You can't just wing it, as many do. A lot of people are like, I'll never use a script. Or just read it off
the screen.
The myth of scripts. The myth of scripts is that scripts are offensive. The poor use of a script is offensive. The poor use of a script is offensive.
You internalize it.
Scripts are fine. Yeah. You internalize it, and you're much more powerful because we can listen. We can listen when we've internalized what we're going to say. Then it makes it easier to hear what they're saying. So we're going to have some fun here. We're going to go over, let's talk about expireds. Now, expireds are different than for sale by owners because for sale by owners do take a little longer. They don't know they have a problem. You have to let them know they have a problem and then help them with the solution. Whereas an expired is more like a Mexican piñata.
Okay. Tell me about the Mexican piñata.
Well, the great realtors get in there early and get all the good candy. They're in there early. They get all the good candy. They whack and they get the good candy and they're out of there. Whereas then the realtor who's slow on the draw is late to the game. They were like saltwater taffy, pretzel. No. So, they're like a Mexican piñata. You got to get in quick. So generally speaking, across most of the country, people receive calls at 8 a.m. Now, there are some agents that will call at 7:55 or 7:52 in order to be the first or second caller 2 or 3 times. And that works pretty well, too, because here's the thing. And people say, well, I would never call there are people on here right now.
Yeah.
There are people right now saying, I've never called before 9 o'clock. Well, you're missing out.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't everybody want?
You're missing out. I've had people say that and just say, "Well, how's it going?" Well, I'm not listing. I took one listing last month. Well, that's because you're calling at 9 o'clock. By 9 o'clock,
they're not answering the phone anymore. They're tired of talking.
Right. They've already figured out not to answer the phone, so you're missing out. You will be surprised at how conversant people are at 8, 8:05, 8:10. Now, at 7:55, 7:52, 7:50, they get a little grumpy, but guess what? It's a lot friendlier grumpy than the grumpy of 8:30 when they're like, "You're the 14th caller!"
Yeah.
You know, and they get very angry. So the anger of too many calls is a lot more hostile than the mild annoyance of calling just a little bit before 8. So there's a lot of that. But follow the law. The law says 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
So how about this?
My clock ran fast. That's all. So.
How about just get to your office on time, get your stuff set up, get your computer going, get your coffee before 8, before 8,
yes.
before 8.
Yes.
You got to have a routine around it. You got to be prepared when you get in there. And luckily, Vulcan 7 is an awesome product that all you have to do is log in and all your stuff's right there.
It's ready to go.
I mean, what happened years ago? I mean, let's not complain about the opportunities and the amazing solutions that are in front of these agents right now.
Yeah.
You had to look up phone numbers.
Yeah, but they still got the same number of calls.
Right, but you were looking up phone numbers. So half the time you had to find the phone number. Right now, you're just putting on your headset, bam, 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 bam. It's so nice.
Oh, no. So, a lot easier.
So these agents, they have no reason why they can't get started right at 8 o'clock. Everything's in front of them. It's done for them.
And then you
and
just
it's
take
the best data in the business.
Dialogue, what to say.
Right, it's the best data in the business.
Dialogue, right.
Yeah.
So here are some things that you can say that'll work really, really well.
For what?
For expired.
Expires. Okay.
Yep. So we're going to cover a few of those, and they work really well as long as you have all the other disciplines in place. You're tracking your numbers, you're role playing, you're a student of this business. Your intention is to be hugely successful, and you're consistent. So I call at 7:50 a.m. and sometimes I'm not the first realtor calling. That's true in some major markets. That's quite true. In some of you in the rural areas, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. They'll get 3 calls in a day.
Oh, wow.
Whereas in many markets, they get 25, 30, 35 calls. He's from Miami. Okay, yes, that would be right. They're calling early.
Yeah.
Well, it's a city that never sleeps, so you got to understand that. So a key point, because they think all real estate, they're going to get 25, 30, 35 calls, and they meet with the same 4 or 5 agents. The same 4 or 5, 6 agents are hugely successful. And I've watched this in many, many markets. They get, there are 30 or 40 agents calling, and 5 or 6 will take 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 listings a month from expireds and FSBOs. And then the rest are like blind squirrels looking for a nut. They'll get 1 or they'll get 2 because of the lack of skill. They aren't able to get in, and in 7 to 10, 12 seconds, they're not able to say the powerful things that are going to make a difference.
And don't you think that comes with practice?
That comes with practice and learning and going to events and zeroing in on panels and people and what do you say, getting to know them, going to lunch with them, going and shadowing them, becoming a student. I have scraps of paper for 20 years. I was on a treadmill with, I was looking at some of the scraps of paper earlier. I was on a treadmill with a top guy down in Cape Coral, Mike Darda, who lists 15 to 18 expireds and FSBOs a month. And I said, what do you say when they say this? What do you say when they say that? I'm scrawling things on a piece of paper while I'm on the treadmill.
Yeah.
Yeah, because every one of those little things makes a difference.
You need to hear the tone. You need to hear the speed. And, a really great solution for that is every day at 8 o'clock, Aaron Wittenstein is live on Facebook on Lead Gen Scripts and Objections page. Mm-hmm. And he lets you listen and watch him do that. And part of that is, his accountability to make sure he's there and doing it. But the opportunity to listen to somebody like Aaron Wittenstein do his scripts and make his calls, and for an agent that's maybe never done this to see what that looks like and hear what that looks like.
Well, it's the copycat principle.
You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Right,
just do what everybody
so
else
let's
does.
talk about some of the good ones. Here's one. A key point. You've got to make this point. This is the point you're trying to make. The good news is you can say it with 4 words. We do things very differently. And they're like, you do? Because they assume we all do the same thing. You just want the listing. We do things very differently. If we knew you could get the best chance to get to Milwaukee, would you hire us for the job? We do things very differently. Well, like what? And when they say, well, like what? I go, great. How's your schedule look for today at 4, or would 6 be better? When they say like what, assume they said come over.
Yeah, I want to know more. Come over.
Or like what? Hey, great. How does your schedule look for 4, or would 6 be better? Okay. We do things very differently. Point number 1, write that down. That is your ticket. It's a huge ticket.
And then another thing you did is gave them 2 options of when they can meet with you. You didn't say what time works for you.
Oh, you would never say that, because they might say 11 a.m. and you'll be saying,
right,
sorry,
I'm still on the phone then.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you're giving them a
How
time.
about Saturday? Sorry, I didn't work Saturdays and Sundays. No.
But to your
Monday,
point,
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock. That's it.
you're asking them a question with 2 options,
right,
and you've got a good chance of them choosing one of them.
Yeah. If you're working with sellers only, sellers take skill, buyers take time. You can work a 5-day week. Okay. Here's another one. I like this one because you get a lot of pushback from an expired sometimes in the conversation. I'd say, honestly, Amy, what is your hesitation to meet with a highly productive team such as ours?
I just had one.
Oh.
They didn't sell it.
You're kidding.
No.
Wow.
Did you
I'm glad we're talking.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're talking.
Okay.
I don't know. We show a lot of homes. You see some of our cards over there? Are they saving cards in there from the showings? I know we drop them wherever we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've probably shown it a couple
Okay.
times. Okay, good. What's your hesitation to meet with a highly productive team such as ours? When people say, that's the thing.
It's a great
Agents will be
question.
like, did you show my house was listed? And they're just like, they have a little thing they say, no, I didn't. There's so many homes. Yeah, I was filling the duties of my sellers. Well, maybe you did show it. Don't immediately think you didn't. Maybe you did. If you're busy, you probably showed it. Somebody on your team
Or
probably
say
showed it.
my office probably showed it.
I'm sure we did. Look over there and look.
You see any?
Do you see some of our cards? We're busy in the market. We've sold a lot of homes. Level shift into another conversation. Okay. All right. So Amy, if we met, if we sold it and you closed by the end of June, would that create any kind of a problem for you?
No.
Great. I'm glad we're talking. How does your schedule look for 4 o'clock tomorrow? Would 6 be better?
Probably 6.
Great. We sold it and you closed by the end of June. Now, don't use this 3 months from now. They'll think you're nuts.
I'd say 30 days. Would you have a problem if I sold your home in 30 days?
All right. Would that create a problem for you? I've taken a lot of listings by asking that question.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Now, some people want something that works all the time, and we call it the objectomatic. The objectomatic. Okay?
Objectomatic.
Yeah. No matter what they say, this is what you say.
Okay.
No matter what they say, this is what you say.
Okay.
So, great.
My kid's in the hospital.
Well, that's exactly why we need to meet.
Good point.
Yeah, exactly. So, another one.
My husband just got in a car accident.
Oh, that's exactly what. Those are terrible.
Sorry, I'm trying to give you hard ones.
Those are hard. Whatever, generally.
I just lost my job.
Well, that's exactly why we need to meet.
I just got a promotion.
Hey, that's exactly why we need to meet. So the objectomatic works really well, and they're like, oh, okay, because you're reversing things here. They're giving you an objection. You're saying, well, that's exactly why we need to meet, and they're like, oh, okay, works really well. Okay, this is one of the first objection handlers I ever learned, and I forgot about it and didn't use it, and it was used against me. I called up a seller and I said, how come you list with Mary and not with me? And he goes, because she specializes in homes that don't sell the first time.
Don't you hate that?
She specializes in homes that don't sell the first time.
I hope they wrote that down.
Yeah, I hope they did too, because you're going to be like, oh, that's old as dirt. Everybody knows that. Well, it can be used against you.
Yeah.
Right? All right. All right. Now, in some markets in the Northeast, some parts of California, some areas in Chicago, they're going to ask you about commission. That's a touchy subject. Some of the Northeast, they're doing 4.2 and 3.9 and all kinds of crazy commissions. So if commissions is an issue and they say, what do you charge? What is your commission? I have the perfect answer.
All right.
This comes from a great gal in Fairfax, Virginia. If I remember her name. Anyway, sorry, but I'll give you credit. So here's what you say. Ask me, what do you charge?
What is your commission?
Great. You know, Amy, that depends on the condition of your home, the price we set on your home, and how competitive you want to be with the cooperating agents in the marketplace.
What do you mean by that?
That means that depending on the price and depending on the condition, I haven't seen your home yet.
Right.
And depending on
my house is like show ready right now.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait till 4 o'clock.
And I'm very
good
serious about the price I want for it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, I'm serious about getting as much money as the house will can possibly get.
Yeah.
And we want to be as competitive as possible with the cooperating agents in the marketplace.
So what is that?
And we can go over all of that.
Okay.
And I can show you exactly how that works.
Awesome.
So it's the condition of your home, the price we set on your home, and how competitive you want to be with the cooperating agents.
I want to be super competitive.
Okay. So those are the three ingredients. And nobody's going to fight you on that. And then you can meet and handle it there. Okay. So a lot of times we're in a conversation about why it didn't sell before. Okay. And sometimes they're critical of their last agent.
Most of the time, aren't they?
Yeah, often. So what do you think stopped the home from selling? Such a good looking home.
I think the pictures were awful.
The pictures were, you don't deserve that. So whatever that agent, whenever they're critical of the other agent, go, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. And then they're like, yeah, I know. And then you go over and list the home. Okay. You don't deserve that. Said like that. You don't deserve that. That's how you say it. Okay. It's an important one. Okay. And then I would say, you know, Amy, do you feel you gave your previous agent a fair chance to get the home sold?
Well, I mean, do you think 6 months is long enough?
Oh, no kidding. Okay. All right. How many of you, with the show of hands, how many of you have had people say, we've already relisted. We've just relisted it. We've already relisted it. How many of you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's quite a few people. Okay. That's a lot of people. Okay. So for those of you that say that this works, I had a coaching client. I said, just try it. And it worked. So what happened? She goes, so the guy goes, we've already relisted. She goes, well, when can I schedule my interview? And he goes, hey, you're good. Come over. She got the listing, sold it, made good money. So it doesn't work every time, works 1 out of 5. Well, when can I schedule my interview? Then they're like, oh, well, how about Thursday? Okay, 4 o'clock.
Because a lot of times when they say they already listed it, it's like trying to get you off the phone.
Right. It's just, yeah, they're just trying to hang up.
Yeah.
They're just trying to hang up. So when can I schedule my interview?
Don't take no for an answer.
Right. You'd be surprised at how well that one works. So
no means yes later, right?
No means yes later. That's it.
Yeah.
What would be the best time to actually sit down with you and go over our plan as an option, Amy? You did want somebody that works at high volume, didn't you?
I want the property sold.
You do want somebody that works at high volume, right?
Of course.
Great. Tell you what. Now, this is a long one, and I'll read it twice. Okay. Yeah. It's a two-parter. What you're doing is you're saying this whole thing, and then you're closing by reducing it to the ridiculous. Okay, tell you what. I don't mind doing this, Amy. I can come out, take a look at your home, tell you how much it'll bring in today's market, how long it will take, and just what it is we've been doing to sell so many homes here in Hyde Park. Okay. And then you guys decide what's best for yourselves. How does that sound?
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, and if she gives me pushback, because she goes, well, I don't know, then I'll say, you know, Amy, if none of this makes any sense to you after 8 or 10 minutes, I'll just shake your hand and be on my way. So 4 o'clock tomorrow?
Sure.
So now I've reduced it down to, I'll come out and after 8 or 10 minutes, if you're like, then I'll shake your hand and leave. So it's hard for them to say no to that. So here it is. Tell you what, I don't mind doing this, Amy. I can come out, take a look at your home, tell you how much it will bring in today's market, how long it will take, and just what it is exactly we've been doing to sell so many homes here in Hyde Park. and then you guys decide what's best for yourself. How's that sound?
I'd have to check with my husband.
Well, tell you what, Amy, if none of this makes any sense to you after 8 or 10 minutes, I'll just reach out my hand to you and your husband and be on my way. Shake hands and be on my way. 4 o'clock tomorrow? All right?
I suppose.
Just say, all right, but I'm not signing anything.
I'm not signing anything.
Okay, perfect. See you tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
All right.
Okay, great. Now, a lot of times, many of you have been on the phone with someone. Yeah, so what's exactly? Yep, it works. Yes, I like that. Good. Sellers take skill, buyers take time. I like that.
Well, you said that.
I know. Well, it's all true. Okay, so a lot of times we're asking questions and they want to hang up on our script, what we're saying. We're saying something and they're like, all of a sudden you can hear the phone's getting ready to hang up and go, listen, I don't have, Mr. Seller, one more question. Wait, one more question. And then they go, yes. Such a good-looking home. What do you think stopped it from selling? Well, and then they go into a little story. This works so many times. I have recordings of people making calls, and then the person goes, listen, I don't have it. Wait, one more question. Yes. Such a good-looking home. What do you think stopped it from selling? Like, well, first of all, and then they go into their spiel, and now you're back in rapport, and you get things done.
And you've complimented them. And
yes.
You're on their page and their side.
It works. Okay. This one I learned about a year ago from a guy named Michael Young. Somebody's like, you're the 8th caller. You're the 13th caller. Just say, I'm so sorry, Mr. Brown. How can I make that up to you? And then they're like, huh? You know, kind of throws them for a second. Then you go, are you still accepting offers on the property? Yeah. And then they're like, well, yes, we are. Okay, now you're back in rapport. Keep going.
And then get back on your questions, right?
Get back on your questions. You know, I'm sorry, Mr. Brown. How can I make that up to you? Well, are you still accepting offers on the property? Well, yes, we are. Okay, great. Well,
great.
I'm glad we're talking.
Or we need to meet.
All right. That's exactly what we need to do. All righty. Old expireds.
Okay.
Because here's the
what
reality.
Is an old expired specifically?
150 years old. No. It's I always looked at them as I would, within the first 24, 48 hours, if beyond that, I kind of put them to sleep, and about 3 weeks later, I revisit them, because after 3 weeks, people stop calling them. And some of them I've already listed.
Right.
Some of them are still there. Now, the problem there is you have no A sellers in there. None of them have to sell immediately or they would be back on. But you still have some good B-level sellers and nobody else is talking to them. Okay.
Or maybe they feel overwhelmed by now, or they tried it on their own and they're like, I clearly cannot do this. And they're coming to the realization that they need help by the time you call them.
Yeah, right. They're friendly. That's the thing about old expired.
A lot friendly.
They are friendly. In fact, so here's the problem that agents do. They do data mining. I noticed in the computer that your home was listed, like, you're just digging around your computer. I don't care about you. Hang up. So, but instead you say, Amy, you had a nice 2-story home back on the cul-de-sac on Willow Glen. Did you ever sell that?
No.
Gosh, I'm surprised too. I remember that. It was on the market. Gosh, it was on the market like February, March, and then it disappeared. When are you going to be interviewing agents again for the job of selling the home?
I don't think we're ever going to get it sold.
Well, if you sold it, where were you moving to?
We were just going to downsize.
Downsize, great. I'm curious what's important about downsizing.
Well, our kids are off in college, and
okay,
we're paying for that now. And
gosh, there we go. Well, Merry Christmas. Okay.
Yeah.
And then off to the races. So, no, I noticed in the computer, you need to remember the house. You had a house, I want to say.
It's impressive.
Yeah, Amy, I want to say your house on Maple, I want to say it was on the market back in March or April, the brick home. Did you sell that? It's no longer in the MLS. You know, remember it. Get in conversation.
Or it had that cute front porch.
There you go.
I mean, you're looking at the picture on your damn computer that you can see in front of you.
It had those 2 pink flamingos.
Yeah.
Yes. So now, so old expireds are very valuable, and they're good for an extra 2 or 3 listings a month too. And they're friendly.
Okay.
Sometimes for some of you that don't like to be at the front lines talking to regular expireds, call some old ones, get warmed up.
Need somebody a little bit more
friendly.
Nice. Yes. So when you say old expireds, I was really thinking that you would say like, you know, a year old. You got any tips for something that's that old? Because right now, so many agents are looking for
Just get in there and find out
or,
what they were trying to do.
So the same script,
yeah,
even if it's been a year.
It's just the opener. You had a house on the market. Gosh, you know, it was a year ago. I don't show that it's sold, but you know, I don't see it. Are you, you know, did you ever sell that? No, we didn't sell that. I'm surprised, you know, and then find out the story, find out where they were going, if they still want to go there. And, you know, it's a B level. They don't have to move. Yet some B levels can be good.
At some point, their motivation is going to change.
And this is a market where the market's so overheated that in many parts of the country, where a B level can sell just fine.
Right. And it's one of those things where right now so many people are looking for inventory for their buyers. Mm-hmm. And they ask that question that's really popular right now. If you got a magic price for your home, what would that price be? Mm-hmm. That's a great question. Or maybe it's worded a little differently.
Yeah, that works.
What would the magic price be for you to be okay selling your house again? I know you wanted to sell it a year ago.
Right.
Would you sell it now? Mm-hmm. And you know what? I have a buyer that has the need for a house in your community, you know, mm-hmm. with your bedrooms and bathrooms. Mm-hmm. Would you consider letting us see it?
Yeah. Well, whenever you have, and you make a good point, whenever you have a buyer that wants a neighborhood, it's, you know.
Get the old expireds out in that neighborhood.
Well, I actually just ask everybody. I've had huge success many times.
So the circle prospecting, you're saying?
Yeah, where you have somebody that wants a neighborhood, you're going to find 2 or 3 people that want to sell in there, and then you're going to usually make one fit.
And then maybe you'll get a listing.
Well, yeah, but it's not for long. Oh, yeah. You mean for somebody that doesn't want to? Yeah,
right,
could.
Right, or maybe it doesn't fit for your buyer. You're definitely going to
put a deal together.
Yeah.
So calling around a recent sale. Now, many times you sell a listing. You're in a neighborhood. You like the price range because the commissions are good. It turns pretty much. And many of you have coal subscription tied into your Vulcan 7. So it's almost impossible not to pick up at least one more listing in a neighborhood if you contact the people through there. You know, we just sold the Gregory's home. It's 2 streets over from you here in Willow Glen. And we still have a lot of people that want to buy in Willow Glen.
I bet you do.
They didn't want that house, but they still want to be in Willow Glen. I wanted to redirect that business to somebody else that wants to sell. When do you plan on moving?
Well, we hadn't thought about it. How long did it take them to sell?
Well, they were on the market with Chucklehead Realty for several months, but we listed it and it was sold in 9 days.
How many offers did you get?
1 great one and 2 nice ones.
So you got 2 more people out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you think they might like my house?
No, we have more than 2 because we have people that say, I want Willow Glen.
Okay.
I didn't like that style of house, but we want Willow Glen.
Okay.
So we still have people who want Willow Glen.
So you think you might want my house?
You want to sell?
For the right price.
For the right price. Great. All righty. We should talk. I'm glad we're talking. Let's look at your house and see what that right price is. Do you have an idea in mind? What do you think it's worth?
What did my neighbor's house sell for?
Well, it hasn't closed yet, but we were listed for $475.
$475.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I paid like $380 for it.
So where would you go if we sell it? Gosh, the end of June.
I don't even know. I haven't even thought about that.
Great.
I guess the world is my oyster, right?
That is.
I can go anywhere.
You can go anywhere. You ready for a change in your life?
Yeah. I don't know.
Don't you think you should tell your kids?
No.
No? Anyway, so network with people. Stop working in the local market. Find people that are making $500,000, $1 million, $1.5 million. The easy way. Notice most of this is now business. 90% of this is now business. Now business. Because they have a home and it hasn't sold, or they're for sale, on, and expired, is 90% now business. You can't beat that. You're talking to the right people. They want somebody to sell their home.
All right.
Questions. Let's get some questions.
Put some questions in the chat, guys. I know there's a Q&A, but the chat's easier for us to see, and we'd love to see your questions. One of the questions that we got just before was, what if they don't want to admit right away why they're selling?
Okay, and that happened.
Maybe they don't want you to know because it's a sensitive issue, or they think they're giving their hand away.
Okay, all right, so this is what I would say. So I'll ask you that, and you just push back. Just say, I'm curious, if you sell the home, where are you going next?
I think we're going to take that one step at a time.
Okay, well, I can appreciate that. I just wanted to know if you were a serious seller, are you definitely selling, or is this just to see what's out there? I mean, are you serious about selling? Okay, because we have very serious buyers. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're serious about selling. Okay, good. All right, so if I brought you an offer that you would like, either full price or something that you would like, you'd want to sell it then, right? You aren't just experimenting around. You're serious about selling.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Okay, all right. That's all I need to know.
Okay.
All right, because sometimes it is a delicate subject.
So just get to the motivation.
Great question. Great question.
All right, let's see. So let's see. We've changed our mind. We're not moving.
Great.
We've changed our mind.
Okay, well, good. I mean, Hyde Park is a beautiful area. Who'd want to leave anyway? I'm just curious if somebody brought you an offer yesterday, where were you headed?
We were just there was a house that we wanted to buy,
and
we were too slow.
And you were too slow.
And so that was the only house we wanted.
No, well, and that happens. Sometimes it's pretty exciting. What did that house have that you liked so much?
It had this yard for our kids that they would be able to play in. And it was fenced in, and the garage was not behind the fence, so we would be able to use the garage and still have a yard.
Wow.
And you can't find that.
In
this area.
All right, so I'm glad we're talking. Let's find that house.
Okay. You find it for me.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to have Susan call you this afternoon.
There aren't any.
I know. But guess what? We can work harder than most of our competition. We'll help you find that house. I'm glad we're talking.
Good question. All right. When you ask, so where are you moving to? And they say, I don't see why that matters right now, or you don't need to know. It goes back to the motivation.
Just say, you're right. I don't need to know. I just need to know if you're a serious seller, because we have a lot of people that experiment out there. They're highball just to see if they can catch something. And we have serious buyers. They're transferring in. They're starting a new job. They need something ready to go. I noticed your house looks like it's ready to go. I just want to make sure you're serious about selling. Well, yeah, I am. Okay, let them defend. Move them to a point where they have to defend that they're serious. Move them to that place. Well, like, no, we're serious. We're serious. Let them defend that. Okay.
All right. You're the 50th agent that's called me today.
I'm so sorry that's happened. How can I make that up to you? Are you still accepting offers on the property? Well, no one's asked me that. Do you have an offer? Do I have an offer? I haven't seen your home yet. We have a lot of buyers we're working with. Such a good-looking home. What do you think stopped her from selling, Amy? If I knew that, it'd be sold, right? I know. God, it must be frustrating. I mean, how can you have a house, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,800 square feet, and you guys only wanted 529? Did you get a lot of traffic on the property? We had showings. Notice we're moving the conversation along. She forgets about that point, and we just keep moving the conversation along. Okay. Good deal. All right, let's see what else we got here. I'm going to list with my old age. When would you say the best time to follow up with nurtures is? Yeah. How often do you follow up with them? Or do you just throw them out and move on to the now business? Wait. So here's a good definition, because I always am fascinated about the word nurture, because there's a lot of people that do it right, and there are a lot of people that are nurturing. They're just churning warm leads because it's comfortable to talk to people over and over and over again, 50, 60, 70 people, and occasionally one will do something. but it can be a big waste of time. So you have to decide what the definition of a nurture is. If somebody is, you look at that nurture, somebody that's going to buy or sell in the next 60 days, might be an agent who's selling a fair amount of real estate. Someone who is willing to buy or sell in the next 30 days. Somebody who's doing a tremendous amount of real estate. Somebody that wants to buy in the next 6 to 12 months is usually a newer agent because they have a lot of time to coddle that along for a long period of time. So as you graduate, as you get more and more leads, you're working with people on a shorter timetable, and you don't have time to coddle one along for 6 to 12 months. Too much happens in 6 to 12 months. And I realize there are lots of people out there nursing these things when they should be talking to strangers. But the problem is, it's tough to talk to a stranger because, there's a heightened sense of fear, and it's a stranger, and oh my God, and they're going to get mad. But I've talked to this person that's kind of a fence straddler that one day is going to move as soon as they paint their gutters.
It's safe.
It's safe.
They're nice.
They're going to paint their gutters, and then they're going to call me, and then I'm going to list it. So look at the definition of your nurtures. I don't know what yours are. Yours may be great. Yours may be immediate people. There's an old expression you say to buyers, I can only help you if you're ready to buy now. I can only help you if you're ready to buy now. You know how people want to just go look for a while?
Yeah.
I can only help you if you're ready to buy now.
Well, and I've always been taught the more no's you get, the closer you are to a yes.
There we go.
So collect your no's as fast as possible because your yes is right around the corner.
That's it.
All right. So,
to tweak it for an ISA, just say we, our team, we. You guys can do that. And if we just sold our team. And if you're a solo agent, we is the company.
Or you're new.
We just sold.
Our office, we.
Right, we. Yep. French, we.
All right. Thank you guys so much for being on the call. We've got some great questions and really great answers come up. We're now right at 1:57. Okay. So we've filled the time quite well, and hopefully you guys did what we asked, which was take notes and get ready. Of course, this webinar is being recorded, and they'll receive it within another day. And we're always looking for great suggestions from Vulcan 7 members as to what you'd like to see on these webinars. If you have suggestions or ideas for the webinars, just email sales@vulcan7.com. Thank you so much.
There we go. All righty. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.